Hello, I'm Rabbi Yaakov Spivak. You know, there was a saying in the ancient world that the more power you have, the less freedom you have. That's right. The more power you have, the less freedom you have. What does it mean? One would think that freedom is one of the byproducts of power, but that's not the case. Because someone who attains power has control over the lives of other people in many ways. And those people look to him. They look to him for confidence. They look to him for stability. Or her. And that is the idea that that person should project. The sages of the Talmud say that a great Jewish leader, even if he's about to go to execution, should never let down his air of dignity. That is the most important thing. We come to the story of Moses. Moses was the greatest Jew that ever lived. And his only mistake that he made was at the waters, when the stone was asked to give forth water. The people were thirsty. And Moses talked to the stone, to the rock. It didn't do it. And Moses took his rod and he struck the rock. And for this, God tells him, Yan lo hemantem bi lehakti sheni, because you didn't have confidence in me, faith in me, to sanctify me in the eyes of the people in the world, you are not going to go into the Holy Land. Now, we all asked those questions when we were young. Moses, the greatest man who cared for his people, who said so many times, according to Midrashic sources, when God wanted to destroy the Jewish people, he said, no, you take me, I'm not going to have any part of it. Moses, who loved his people, who was the embodiment of Ahavat Yisrael, of loving a fellow Jew. He saw these people come out of the Red Sea. They were thirsty. They had no water. Their children were crying for thirst. And his first emotion was, that rock is not giving me the water. And he got angry because, not because of immaturity, but because he wanted that rock to give water to his people who could die of thirst. And he struck the rock. And God said, Yan lo emantem bi. You didn't have faith in me, Moses. Lakti sheni, to sanctify me. There are many explanations. This is not the only one. But the one that struck me was the one that says Moses shouldn't have lost his cool in front of the people who were looking to him for guidance. It was bad enough that 80% of the Jewish people didn't leave Egypt in the first place after the 10th plague. Those 20% that did looked to Moses for stability, for confidence, for courage. And because of that one moment when Moses' intentions were so good, come on, give forth the water, rock. Until it finally did. He showed that feeling of frustration that his people were thirsty. So much so does the Torah require a dignity of a leader. No matter if the leader is right, the leader does not show a lack of dignity. No matter the ones who, certainly the ones who challenge the leader, can't show a lack of dignity. We live in a world all over the world now where there is no respect for leadership and authority, like never before. Like never before. John F. Kennedy had things that the press would not reveal because they felt that if they did, that the respect for Kennedy would go down. And it was more important that Kennedy have the respect of the public when he went nose to nose with the Soviet ships outside of Cuba. But today, anything goes. What do we tell our children? At the highest points of American government are extremely talented people. The leader and the press that follows him, and the others. Talented people who've done good, who proved themselves time and time again, who weep for the sufferings of Americans who are underprivileged. But when they get together to decide how to solve that problem, sometimes the dignity is lost. I respect that leader very much. I respect the press very much. They both have sacred, time-honored jobs to do. But for goodness sake, we have children watching, just as the children at the sea who watched Moses. Moses lost it for a second, for the best of reasons. The road is paved with good intentions. I don't want to fill that out. Everybody intending for good. Both sides of an argument. Government, the press, rivals, the atmosphere and the ads in recent elections, the mudslinging, the filth, the down and dirty. This is what our children see. And all of a sudden, the next day he wins. Oh, well, he's winner. What happened to that dignity? How you want to know why the next generation is losing respect for authority? You want to know why? Because the media and the authority figures go at it so openly that the younger people say, is this who's running the show? Is this who's pushing the buttons? These talented people, the ones that lead our government and the ones that follow the process that they're going through, the press, are some of the best people you'll ever meet. This is just a reminder to them. Think of who's watching. Just as God told Moses, yes, I know, and I'm not comparing the great Moses to any leader today, but God told Moses, I know you had good intentions. I know you saw people thirsty, but don't lose it in front of these people. Don't lose it. We hope and pray that those who are in power, these wonderful, talented, and yes, often loving people, don't forget that. And don't forget who's watching. And the young, impressionable eyes, hearts, and souls that see them. And let us pray for our kingdom and for, in our case, our government, our democratic government. Let us pray that God gives these people and the ones who cover them the wisdom and the dignity to make a good name for those who lead us. I'm Rabbi Yaakov Spivak. Chazak. Thank you.